From the Detroit Free Press, in the heart of the Motor City, it's Wednesday, January 15th. Here are today's top stories. Brought to you by JB's Smokehouse, located inside Bush's Fresh Food Market of Canton. JB's offers a range of authentic barbecue favorites, from beef brisket and mac and cheese to fried green tomatoes and pulled pork tacos. JB's is sure to become your new favorite barbecue spot.
Hi, this is Kathleen Gray, and I cover state and national politics for the Detroit Free Press. If predictions come true, the November election could break turnout records. Elections experts say that somewhere between 5.2 million and 6 million voters could cast ballots in the presidential race. That would far exceed the previous record in Michigan, when some 5 million voters showed up in 2008 and delivered Michigan and the presidency to Barack Obama. But the high voter turnout is a good news, bad news story for Michigan. Many of those voters will take advantage of a new state law and vote by absentee ballot. But unlike at least 28 other states, Michigan clerks aren't allowed to begin processing or tabulating absentee ballots until Election Day. That means that clerks might not finish counting those ballots until a day or two after the election, according to Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. And that could shine an embarrassing national spotlight in Michigan, a key battleground for the upcoming presidential election.
This is Bisma Pervez with the Detroit Free Press. Michigan State Police suspect fraud in connection to breathalyzer tests across the state. According to a defense lawyer, that means many drunk driving cases could get a lot more complicated. The testing equipment is calibrated by a vendor called Intoximeters. Police suspect Intoximeter employees committed fraud by falsifying records and forging public documents. The investigation is in its early stages, and officials don't know how many records were tampered with or for how long. I spoke with county and city prosecutors who are still trying to figure out whether this affects any of their DUI cases. Oakland County Prosecutor Jessica Cooper told me she hopes to get more information on whether the errors were because of negligence or on purpose. As of Monday, state police took all 203 Data Master breathalyzers out of service. They will properly calibrate each one. In the meantime, blood draws are recommended to test for drunk driving.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Yanchi Jackson. Crime in Michigan is at a 50-year low, but the jail population has nearly tripled since the 1970s. Taxpayers spent nearly $500 million on county jail costs in 2017. To try to change that, a statewide task force is recommending 18 ways for lawmakers to reform Michigan's jail and court systems. The suggested changes include bail reform, reclassifying some misdemeanor charges, and stopping the practice of suspending driver's licenses for failure to appear in court. The Michigan Joint Task Force on Jail and Pretrial Incarceration presented its findings to legislative leaders at the Capitol on Tuesday. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist says the proposed changes could impact hundreds of thousands of Michiganders. Now it's up to the legislature to figure out if and how to implement the recommendations. House Speaker Lee Chatfield said criminal justice reform is a priority for lawmakers.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist with the Detroit Free Press. Super savers are furious about some new retirement rules that rolled out of Washington in December. Hard to believe, but some people really don't plan to spend every dime they have in their 401k plans. Instead, they scrimp in retirement because they want their kids or grandkids to inherit that IRA or 401k money. It's a way to drag out a tax break, too. In the past, that money would have been withdrawn over the lifetime of the child or grandchild, which could mean decades for some. Now, there's a new 10-year window after a death for many who will take money out and pay the taxes. The federal government gets quicker access to the tax dollars, and the account is no longer growing on a tax-deferred basis. Some exceptions do exist for that 10-year window, most notably the spouse. Fortunately, once someone dies, his or her spouse isn't subject or required to withdrawing the money out of a 401k within 10 years. But if you plan to leave money to your grandchildren from your retirement account, please take note. The new rules will bite you.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department and an update on the Michigan State Spartans. Another injury to tell you about, and it's unfortunately a name familiar to the walking wounded. senior Kyle Ahrens will be out indefinitely as he continues to struggle with his Achilles and ankle. Head coach Tom Izzo explained to the media on Tuesday why he is holding Ahrens out.
It's just been so hard to have him practice, not practice, have him in the lineup, not in the lineup. So really it was a decision made by me. I just think he's broken down. It's been really hard on him.
The Spartans are also without another senior wing player, Joshua Langford, who suffered another setback with his foot before the season began. The Spartans, who were pounded by Purdue on Sunday, have a couple of days to adjust before they host Wisconsin on Friday.
To get more from the Detroit Free Press, download our mobile app on your phone, tablet, or any other mobile device. You can find the latest news, sports, photos, weather, traffic, and more. You can even sign up for notifications to get alerts on news and game updates sent right to your mobile phone or tablet. See you tomorrow.